If you want to know what's going on in your storage device, the command to use for that is fdisk. And again, this is a privileged command, so you cannot run it as a regular user, and you have to run the command as an administrator or super user or root. So you have to use sudo, sudo, and then fdisk, and then you have to use a special option -L to display the details. So I'm going to press enter, and it shows 3 different partitions on your storage device, and the details of what a partition is and how partitioning works are going to be discussed in another video, so I'm going to skip that. Let's say that I want to learn more about the fdisk command, and there is actually this feature on a Linux machine that allows you to look up a manual for a particular command. So the command you need to use to view the manual of another command is actually man. So man and then fdisk will allow you to see all the options and the features of the fdisk command. To get out of the manual, you simply type Q and then it stops the manual. Next, I'm going to be creating a new directory called test. So let me just see where I am. pwd. I am in my home directory, home administrator, so I'm going to be creating a new directory here, mkdir, and then called test, test, and press enter. And then if I do ls to show what's in my directory, I can see the new directory I just created, tst, is showing up there. So to create these files in the new directory, I just need to go to the directory, the new directory. So to change my current directory to the new directory called test, I just type in cd and then space test. So I am now in the test directory. There's nothing there. So the easiest way to create blank files is using this command called touch. So I'll just use this command, touch test tst1.txt. so one file just created. If I do ls again, you can see that file, and I'm going to create another one, test2.txt, touch test2.txt, and if I do ls, you can see now I have 2 files created. If you want to edit the content of the file test.txt, you can use an editor called nano, nano, and test1.txt. This is how you edit the file, and then you just type in something in the editor. So this is a test, and then to save it, you actually just press Control and then X, and I will ask this question, save modified buffer, and you just type Y to say yes, and then it will display the name of the file, test1.txt. So at this point you just say I want to keep that file name, so I just press enter. And if I do ls again, I see the test1 file still there, but I want to know what's inside the file. So for that, I use another command called more, more, and then just type the file name test1.txt, and you can see the result of my editing just now. And if I do more test2.txt, it won't show anything because I just created the file and then I didn't really edit the file to enter the new text. Next, we'll be using an archive command called tar, and this command is useful when you have a lot of files to move from one place to the other, because you can actually put many different types of files into one file, and then you can actually unarchive it if you need the individual files after the archiving is done. So tar command is a very convenient command, especially when you need to move individual files around. So let me show you how to use the tar command. So the goal here is to somehow the files I just created, the two files, to put it into one archive file called test.tar, and somehow put the file to the downloads directory of the administrator account. So to create an archive file, I'm going to just go to the parent directory of the test directory, because I'm going to put everything in the test directory into this archive file. So do ls, and you can see the test directory still. So the command for doing that is tar, and then cvf. So when we're creating an archive file, we use the C option. C stands for create in this case. V is verbose, and then F is the location of the file we're designating in the command. So I'm going to be creating a new archive file called test.tar, and then from this directory, home administrator test, that's where I created my two individual files. So let's see if it works. So when this tar process is over, if I do ls here, you'll see the new tar file created, test.tar. And what you can do with this is, once you have it in the right location, let's say I want to put it in the downloads directory here, downloads, so I can just use this command move. So the difference between move mv and cp copy is that move actually deletes the file in the current directory, and then moves it to another location, while copy still keeps the old file in the current directory but creates another copy of that file in the new directory. So that's the difference. So if I just say move test.tar to where, so dot is the current directory I told you, right? And so right now under the current directory there is something called downloads, so that's where I want to move my test.tar file. So if I press enter and do ls again, you can see now test.tar is gone in the directory. But if I go to the downloads directory again, I see test.tar is there now. Okay, so how do you then unarchive the file to get the individual files out of the archive file? Again, the same command tar, and then, but this time instead of using C, we will be using X. So X, V, verbose, and then file name F, and then the name of the tar file test.tar, right? So if I do this, you will be able to extract all the files in the archive file. So if I just press enter now and then do ls, you see that? So what you see there is it actually kept the directory structure when the archive file was created. So that's why you see the home, the new home directory, and then it will be under administrator. So cd home administrator, and then test, right? And then you see the two files. So the thing to note here is that it actually kept the directory structure of the individual files.